Hello everyone. This week I want to talk about what I call the comparison trap. So what is this comparison trap? Anytime I refer to something or think of something as a trap, it is because we are unaware of a certain way of being or a certain behavior that we've taken on and believe that in some way it is actually helping us. So when we compare ourselves to others, we're either feeling that we're less than someone or that we're better than someone. And both of those things have a very distorted perception as to what it is that we truly are. Because remember, I talk a lot about the fact that what our true nature is all about is this beautiful, uninhibited oneness, this consciousness, this pure awareness. That's what our true nature is. And that is divinity. That is infinity, right? And now when we've lowered ourselves to comparing ourselves to somebody else, or maybe another group of people, could be that as well, we are either thinking that we are less than them or we are better than them. And when we're doing that, essentially what's happening is that we are separating ourselves from everyone else even more, which is the opposite of what it is that we need to do in our spiritual practice. The practice of waking up is so rooted in changing the way that we see the world and remembering things that we know deep down to be true, but really embodying them. And this encompasses feeling that everyone around you is inherently the same as you, is as perfect as you, which means that nobody is better than you and nobody is less than you. And anything else that you feel about yourself or about someone else, if you feel that somebody else is less than you or more than you, then you are basically identifying with your ego, which means that you are identifying with your separate self, with this little self, with this idea that you are a body and a mind, or a body-mind. And when you're doing that, you have completely forgotten what it is that you are and what it is that everyone else is. You have not become one with the divine when you do this. So the comparison trap is a really dangerous one. And it's based on this idea that when you compare yourself to somebody else, it's going to somehow help you figure things out. You're realizing something about yourself. You're realizing that you're either here and somebody else is there and they're way ahead of you, and so you've got a lot of work to do. And for some people, this is a really motivating thing. But for most of us, it really diminishes any sort of self-worth that you have. And the opposite flip side of that is when you start to look at somebody else and you try to make yourself feel better by bashing someone else and putting somebody else down and feeling like they are less than you. And when you do that, you are also absolutely centered in your ego, in your separate sense of this smaller self. And you're doing that to make yourself feel better. And that is really the only reason why you would ever do that. Because no one is better than you. Yes, people can accomplish things. People can do all sorts of incredible things. And it's wonderful when people do beautiful, incredible things. I'm not saying that we should just walk around in this world in this very apathetic way and not feel motivated to do anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. But our true value, the truth of what you are, is untouchable because it is very, very pure. It is this wonderfully pure thing. It is the thing, the essence, the truth that is in fact animating everything that you see and everything that you experience. It is the cause of everything. So there is nothing that is going to surpass that, and that's what you are. So we need to remember this and try as best as we can to get out of the trap or the loop or the software that keeps running this program of the behavior of comparing ourselves to others in any way, shape, or form. Because I promise you that when you do this, you will suffer. It's a guarantee. It's a guaranteed thing. If you want to feel pain, then start comparing yourself to somebody else. And you might think in the moment that you really are making yourself feel better by putting somebody else down. But remember, what you're strengthening is separation. And that is never an empowering thing, ever. That is a very short-lived, brief, egoic promise to yourself that you think is going to give you a little boost. And it might for a moment or even a short period of time. But really, it's not going to last. If you really want lasting, self-empowered feelings and experiences in your life, then what needs to change is your inside. You need to start to look at how you can shift your own way of being and seeing the world. And by stopping this action of comparing ourselves, it's an extremely, extremely helpful step towards that goal. Only when we have awareness around something can we change a behavior. And when we start to shift the things inside of us, then everything outside of us will change. So I hope you can practice this week and play around with it and start to notice what happens when you drop this notion of comparing. You will feel more at one and at peace with everyone and everything around you. And it is a beautiful way to be. I love you all so, so much. I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember, let go.